Well, hey everybody, I'm Paul. Welcome again to the channel. You know, it was about a week ago or maybe a little bit more than that, Colin Bloodworth did a video, and he was talking about asking us as video creators what we do. If you ever have a really good idea, if you ever have an epiphany hit you, but you're out and about doing something where it's not really, he was asking, how do you keep track of that? How do you remember the idea without losing it or whatever? So I thought I'd take a stab and share a couple things, 3 things or so that I use. Number one, of course, the first thing being old school that comes to mind is something I do use all the time. In fact, this is a note from when I did a live stream. Somebody suggested doing a homemade mac and cheese video, so I want to do that. But, you know, you don't always have a pen or piece of paper with you all the time. I know I don't anyhow. But I always do have my phone with me. And I'll show you, this is something that I use all the time. I told Colin, a lot of times I'll send myself an email. Just jot out a note, you know, and send it off. And because I'm always looking at my email, and that way I don't lose it or forget it. But sometimes, you know, I'm not the fastest typer, sit there, so I don't always want to do that. Now, the other morning, I woke up like 5 in the morning. I keep my phone over by the bed, you know, and I had an idea. Actually, I had, you probably can't see it, but there's actually like 4 ideas on there. I used the sound recorder in the phone, and for example, this is me at 5 in the morning.
What the heck is going on? It's like I go to sleep at 1. I'm up like at 5:30. You know, I'm getting old. I'm always hurting.
So that, I'm just talking to myself, rambling on. That was what made me do the video before this one about power napping. So like, you know, otherwise if I didn't like record that, there's no way I was half asleep going to type it out. Wasn't going to write it on paper. So sometimes just using, and most phones have it. If you don't have it, you can go get a free one, just a sound recorder, and that's pretty convenient. So that is my number 2 thing that I use. And the third thing that I'm starting to use, it's been out a while, but I've just kind of newer to me, is that Google Keep. And it came on my phone. If you don't have it, it's a free download or whatever. But it's pretty convenient. And of course, like all Google products, just like your email, you can access it on all your devices, you know. So if you save something on your phone, then you could get it on your computer as long as you sign in. So I was working on a post for I was doing a post for a blog on Steemit, and I wanted to access a photo that I had on my phone. So, you know, you can always go through the whole and email it to yourself, and that's one way to do it. But I thought, well, I'll use Google Keep, and it's a real handy thing, you know. And so, like, when you save it there, it saves it to everywhere. You don't have to type in an address to send it to yourself or anything like that. And it's really handy. I don't know, hopefully you can see it. There is the picture, and there's also a couple of notes, sample notes, that you can type out. But also, you see the one that says this is a test of Google Keep. The neat thing about that one was I didn't type it out, I spoke it. All you do is you hit the microphone on the bottom and you start talking just like the sound recorder, but then it transcribes what you say into a note and sends it to all your devices. So I think that was pretty cool. And then another neat thing is if you hit at the bottom, and you know, this is especially useful for me because I'm not a fast typist, it goes to a blank screen. So then let's say, you know, you wanted to write down a number or something real quick. You can just write it with your finger. You probably can't see that, but I just wrote down 1, 2, 3, right? And then it will save it. It will save an image of that. And then you can come back to it later, and that way you don't have to do the Like you can write down whatever you want to write down and then come back and see it later or see it on another device. So that's called Google Keep, free, and it's a pretty handy little thing. If you guys got some better ideas or some other ideas or whatever, how you keep track of your ideas, especially when you're on the fly or whatever, let me know. Hopefully these were helpful to you. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, we'll see you.